self-destruction. Do you, Hulk Hogan, show self-pity? Do you, Hulk Hogan, try to reason why? Do you, Hulk Hogan, try and comfort the normals that have even more fear than you? Or do you, Hulk Hogan, kick the doors out? Kick the cockpit door down. Take the two pilots that have already made the sacrifice so that you can face this challenge. Dispose of them, Hulk Hogan. Assume the controls, Hulk Hogan.
He looks like an angry Jayhawk.
Shove that control into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan. Push yourself to total self-destruction. As you realize, Hulk Hogan, you are about to enter a world close to parts unknown. Oh, smell it, warriors.
Smell it!
Do you, Hulk Hogan, look for a place to hide? Or do you, Hulk Hogan, face that challenge that may be more powerful than even you are, Hulk Hogan?
Serious about this.
You, Hulk Hogan, must self-destruct so that you will know, Hulk Hogan, who is the chosen one. For Hulk Hogan, I am not the chosen one that you speak of. I am not. I, Hulk Hogan, am the only one.
What was that snort at the end there?
That was the cocaine he snorted. He was sucking the rest of it up.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
How about
great.
that VCR reverb? Shout outs to old technology.
All right. Shout outs to the early 90s. Anyway, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And you're listening to Straight Outta
Austin.
And yeah, so that was our little tribute to Ultimate Warrior. For those of you who don't know, he died on April 8th. He was 54 years old. Apparently he died of a cardiovascular disease. So I don't know. He was always one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day. I never realized how crazy he was until like my adult life watching his promo videos, and he would just spout off this like complete nonsense. And I was trying to find a different video where they have like Chris Jericho and some other wrestlers doing commentary on just like how crazy he was. But that one will have to suffice. I mean, you can pretty much get the gist of just how just how ridiculous like what came out of his mouth is. But it sucks that he's dead, and relatively young age, like 54 is not that old, especially that old to be dying. So
it's the new 20.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 50 is the new 20. Now you know how it is. But anyway, but rest in peace, and I mean that sincerely this time for the Ultimate Warrior.
I don't even think Leslie got this great of a send-off.
Yeah, well...
And granted, Leslie's Leslie, but a local nonetheless.
Yeah, but Leslie's not from parts unknown.
Well, Leslie's like from Colorado.
Leslie didn't have an epic feud with the Macho Man! Yeah!
Here's 2 free coupons to Macho Nacho. Oh yeah!
He didn't have spirit tassels when he ran around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't really talk about a lot of wrestling on this program, but I figured it was definitely worth mentioning because the Ultimate Warrior he's a badass man. So now he's up there body slamming people with a Macho Man.
Yeah.
And just one last thing on that. So I pulled up another Ultimate Warrior video. and it's him and Macho Man just like doing their little feud before their title fight. And then in comes like Ric Flair with Kurt Hennig, and I turned to Agamemnon, and I'm like, you know what's really sad about this video? Like 3 out of the 4 people in this video are dead. I was like, that's just depressing. Like the life expectancy of like a pro wrestler is so sadly short. So hate to start off the podcast with such a downer, but you know. It is what it is. Gotta get the sadness out of the way before we get to the great stuff. But yeah, Blood Ocean Channel 7 has joined us as well as the Comic Bubble, and he says the Ultimate Warrior was great, and that he was. And Luis chimes in saying the Ultimate Warrior was the Ultimate Warrior. Thank you very much for that insightful response, Mr. Ice.
You know what else is great?
What is?
Hibiki's pot pie.
I was thinking you were gonna go there. So I'm like, yes, chicken pot pie.
You know, I'm not a big fan of, like, pie crust.
Uh-huh.
Unless it's graham cracker. But this actually is not bad.
But bacon aside, it's the best pot pie I've ever had.
Bacon aside, yeah. And I didn't even say anything, but I'm not, like, one for pot pie. I've never really cared for pot pie. So,
yeah.
like, to be honest. Is she in the other room?
I don't know. I think she's gone.
Okay. But then all of a sudden, got all quiet, like she's listening. Shit.
No, I was just trying to choke down a cough.
Well, anyways... She sent me an email, and she's like, I want to make some pot pie tonight. I'm really in the mood. Like, the baby hormones are kicking in. And I was just like, pot pie? Can we have, like, pizza or chicken nuggets or some freaking mash? I want some mash.
Nah.
But it wasn't bad. It's not bad.
Mash.
I like it. It's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Haven't had a pot pie that good since the cafeteria.
Since 1973. Louis says, whoa, pot pie, where's mine? Well, I'm looking at this empty bowl where pot pie used to be, and I think it's there. We'll send you a picture. And we'll stuff one into an overnight envelope and see if it reaches you.
Hopefully it doesn't drip through the envelope.
He's just gonna get a soggy envelope. So he's got to go to the 70s for some MASH. But M.A.S.H.
They're supposed to be asterisks, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The show. I think we covered the song here once.
We did.
It was like the one with
like
the lyrics.
Old school episode, yeah. Oh, yeah, we were singing it. Well, the lyrics sucked. We have a guest on. I don't know who it is, but hello, guest. And we had another guest that was there for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
They probably were like, yeah, this is terrible. I'm leaving. But either way, we appreciate you showing up.
Yeah,
So.
Thank you for arriving anonymously.
Thank you for listening to us talking about pot pie. As you know, that when we were talking, when you come to Straight Outta Austin, you want discussions about pot pie.
Of all the podcasts that talk about pot pie, thank you for coming to this one.
Well, do you know that the Ultimate Warrior was a big fan of pot pie?
He was.
And he's probably eating a giant pot pie in the sky.
Yeah, the ultimate pot pie.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan, take a bite of the pot pie.
What was that? It's so weird. Like, who snorts like that?
Louis
And like to sound like, unless you're like some like half man, half warthog demon with an axe, like the warthog snort's not going to sound very cool.
Well, I think from Parts Unknown, like everybody does that.
I guess
It's just like a Parts Unknown type tick.
I don't think it excuses the fact that you're still the Ultimate Warrior.
I think being the Ultimate Warrior excuses
doing
the fact...
a weird warthog demon snort.
Hey, when he was a young warthog.
When he was a young warthog.
Ultimate Warrior, not in front of the kids. Luis says the pot pie is the only reason why he comes back every week. Well, we appreciate that.
Oh, that was Men in Tights.
What was?
What you quoted?
No, that was Lion King.
Was it?
Yeah.
I could have sworn they did that same thing in Men in Tights.
Maybe. I don't know. Blood Ocean says he's not a fan of pot pie, or who's not a fan of pot pie, but the guy in the KFC commercials are not a fan. Well, I know who's a fan of KFC, and that's the Hound from Game of Thrones. So I won't spoil it, but the Hound really loves chickens. So you should check out. If you have HBO Go, or if you can steal someone's HBO Go,
Yeah.
or if you're a Pirate Bay type dude, you know, you might be able to finagle
Torrented from a friend, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm totally not being subtle with that.
No, not at all like that. The FCC is going to come shut us down because of you.
Yeah.
They're going to
Good
send
thing
in.
we don't make enough money off.
They're going to send in top men. Oh, man.
They're going to send John Boehner after us.
They're going to send Jack Bauer after us.
Oh, my... Okay, done. Don't turn it, kids. The last thing I want to hear is damn it 20 times in a second.
Damn it, Chloe.
Damn it,
Pot pie.
Damn it, Prometheus.
Damn it. Louis says there was a version in Men in Tights, he thinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, God. Louis says, does he like chicken so much that he chokes it? No. To answer that question, no, the hound does not choke his chicken. And he says, thank you, folks. I'm here all week. Yeah, thank you too, Louis. So he'll be here on Friday, 8 p.m. Central, if you want to hear more of his excellent attempts at sarcasm and humor on the comic bubble.
Anyways, moving on.
But speaking of comic bubbles, so I have the first topic on here. And it's okay. So there's a lot of Easter eggs in Captain America, Winter Soldier. Spoilers. They mentioned Stephen Strange, better known as Doctor Strange.
Gasp.
And obviously, they have the which Infinity Gem was it? The Mind Cube or whatever.
The Mind Cube. Comic aficionado right here, gentlemen.
The Wisdom Cube.
The Wisdom Cube. Yeah, I am the Wisdom Cube.
Okay, the Mind Gem. But either way, it's that little staff that Loki has, and you see it at one of the post-credit stingers.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's different Easter eggs like that and stuff like that in Captain America.
I think it's connected to the Tesseract, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, it is the Tesseract.
No, well, the Asgardians still have the Tesseract.
But I thought Loki stole it. I thought that's what he had.
He did, but they took it back at the end.
Well, they have the staff that he had.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't the Tesseract.
Oh, yeah, that was the other gem that looks exactly like it.
I don't know exactly how to explain it. I was a little miffed at that. I thought that his staff utilized the Tesseract's power.
No, I think it's a different gem altogether, now that you have me thinking about it.
Well, because at the end of Thor, they're like, we don't need 2 Infinity Gems or 2 Infinity Stones.
Okay, you're talking about Thor 2.
Yeah, where they're talking about like the Aether,
which
is that red power, and then the Tesseract is one of the Infinity
like
Stones. So I don't, so it's the same color as what's on Loki's staff. So I don't know what that is then.
Louis says the popular theory is that the item in the Spectre could be the Mind Gem. The Tesseract is likely the Power Gem.
Ah.
There you go. See, that's why you need to tune into his podcast, 8 p.m. Central, every Friday. But, okay, so anyway, that's not really the point. The point is that some people are just kind of grasping at straws for for Easter eggs, and one of the popular ones, it's on moviepilot.com. So they're like, you guys probably didn't know, but there is an Easter egg for the Wasp. So you're like, okay, I see the movie. I've been on seeing it twice. Just try and think anywhere in the movie where you thought there was an Easter egg for the Wasp.
I've already thought, and like, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so here's where they say that there's a Easter egg. So it's like in the movie, Black Widow and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents use a lot of electrical taser-like weapons, including long baton-like tasers and small circular Band-Aid patch-like tasers. At one point, Black Widow turns to Nick Fury and says something on the lines of this, quote-unquote, these really do sting. Then it hit me. Stings? These little suckers might just be Ant-Man's wife and sidekick, the Wasp-made weapons. Wasp stings.
That is so... that's like that dude that left that comment on your Agent Coulson blog.
His good eye.
His good eye. Vision.
But I read
Nick Fury lost his one good eye.
I read that and I was like, come on. I want the Wasp to be in the Avengers as much as anyone else. But you're really grasping at something that is nothing there. What? Yeah, Blood 7 says, yeah, that's really reaching. Oh, yeah. That's...
like, bad. Like, really? Like, because some of this taser technology doesn't already exist?
Well, yeah.
It's like if I went and got, like, those what are they, X-27s? And then, like, stung somebody with it. But,
they're
like,
X-23s, sir.
This is...
They're second best at what they do. I mean, they're funny. But yeah. Go on.
I don't even remember my point. Continue.
About tasers stinging people?
Yeah, if I made a reference to that being like I'm like the Wasp.
Yeah.
My last name's Van Dyne. Like, no. Sorry, it didn't work that way.
See, that would have been better, like, if at least in that scene they would have mentioned her name alongside
or like,
Stephen
this
Strange.
is the Van Dyne or the Pym 27.
Yeah, exactly. If they would have at least made like a reference to Pym, like making that technology, then you can be like, okay, maybe it has something to do with the Wasp. But it was just like, I read this and I just started laughing. At first, I was just gonna be like, all right, deleted. But I was like, no, the world needs to know about this. By the world, I mean the 5 people listening. they all must know. Yeah. But it was, oh man, some people like. It's just, I feel like people just do like these mental gymnastics where they just want to hear like. You know, they know what their conclusion already is, and that they want to try and like fabricate facts to try and get them to that conclusion, and I feel like that's pretty much what the quote unquote Wasp Easter egg was. So so moviepilot.com, you know, nice try, but wow, I'm looking at like they have their numbers of how many people have read this. It says 46,000 people saw this, 20 plus people are talking about it, so I guess we're one of those 20. That's a sad, like, really?
And each and every one of them should be going back to watch Captain America instead of visiting that blog.
It's like, how do you get so many readers when what you put out is just such garbage? But anyway, in other Avengers news, Paul Bettany is confirmed to be playing the Vision in Age of Ultron.
Yay. So, that's kind of old news, though?
Well, I think it was, like, rumored, but now it's, like, official. Like, I guess it was, like, pretty much everyone already knew that.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, yeah, so since you guys already know, I guess we'll just make it official. So, and I still officially don't really know who he is, so I don't know to be excited or not excited. Tell me, how should I feel?
I like Paul Bettany. I think he's a pretty good actor. Don't click on that.
Luis said he sure was already confirmed. Well, maybe it was. But anyway.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed. Anyways, Paul Bettany, British actor. He was in A Beautiful Mind. He plays one of Russell Crowe's hallucinations. I think it's like his best friend. He was also in Master Commander. I think he was like a Charles Darwin-ish kind of character. Like he was just mapping out new like species and stuff. Kind of like what Darwin did in his early years. He was in Avengers and the Iron Man movies. What was that one movie?
Darwin was in
Legion. He was in Legion.
That Darwin was in X-Men.
Yeah. Well, actually, he did play Charles Darwin in a movie called Creation. So, funny story.
Yeah.
He was in Legion. He was like the main dude in Legion.
Legion. Was that
the diner, the old creepy lady.
Oh.
And he's fighting legions of...
God, that movie was so bad.
We Are Legion.
That was probably one of the worst movies for like having a trailer that like kind of actually gets you really intrigued. You're like, oh man, this could be so cool. And you watch and like, that was probably the only good scene in the movie because it was like that shock value, the old lady being like this demon thing, and then the rest of it was kind of downhill.
Yeah, the other movie he did with Russell Crowe was called Master and Commander, or as River City Hobo like to call it, Gladiator on Water.
Nice.
I don't know how he got that because I had seen the movie and I was like, I don't get how, dude, it's Gladiator on Water. I was like, just because it's Russell Crowe doesn't mean it's Gladiator, dude. It's Gladiator.
There was Gladiator in Space, a.k.a. Man of Steel.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. But, calling it Gladiator on Water actually makes me want to watch it. Like, that would be the only thing where it's like, you know what, I'll check it out. If it's Russell Crowe just killing people and making epic speeches with CGI roses falling from the sky.
And John Woo doves.
Yeah. Luis says Legion was the movie he told us to avoid, so that's how good that movie is. It got his seal of disapproval.
The movie I told you guys to avoid. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I think it's. I mean, he's already done a really great job throughout the Iron Man and Avengers movies.
Okay, because he's the one that was Jarvis.
He plays the Jarvis voice.
Okay.
And he kind of looks like the lead singer from
The Crow.
Yeah, The Crow. The Coldplay. They look the same. So for the longest time, I thought he was actually Gwyneth Paltrow's husband. So I was like, hey, how weird is that his actual wife is like Robert Downey Jr.'s love interest in the movie, and he's just some fucking voice stuck in the wall. And I was like, oh wait, okay, never mind. It's the lead singer of Coldplay that bangs her every night.
Yeah, I was gonna start singing a Coldplay song, but I can't think of any. So
I can't either. There's
I was thinking that
Vida,
with arms wide open, but I think that's Creed.
That's Creed. Yeah. That's totally, hate to admit it.
Anyway. So, I thought that was kind of funny, but obviously it comes from your favorite website.
Of course. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they be 2 months behind what was news already?
That's pretty much it. Because it's like, okay, so it's like Guardians of the Galaxy definitely connected to Avengers 3. Well, it's like, well, they kind of already confirmed that once they confirmed that Thanos was connected to Guardians and Avengers, so why wouldn't they all be connected? So they have this, and it's like, now it's confirmed by writer/director James Gunn. I pronounce it like that because it's got two N's. So, because Thanos is said to appear in Guardians of the Galaxy as a motion capture character, and his daughter Nebula, Karen Gillian, can be spotted briefly in the official trailer. Thanos would be the head of the snake in whatever plot the Guardians are dealing with, says Gunn.
The head of the snake?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they mean like a literal like snake character, or if they mean like, if they mean figuratively, like, which I'm sure that's what they mean.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah. Well, hey, chop off one head, two will appear in its place. But no, I think they mean like whatever like schemes are going on, like he's the mastermind behind it. 'Cause I think that's like their whole plot where they're moving towards for Avengers 3.
Okay.
But yeah, so he says, okay, so I guess this has to do with the plot of the movie. So plug your ears so you don't want to know what it's about.
Oh no.
It says Star-Lord, who was abducted. By the way, I think Mike Jones should do like a theme song for Star-Lord. Star-Lord, who? My movie coming soon. But anyway, Star-Lord was abducted by... Oh, you know, actually I don't want to read this because, like, I was trying to figure out how, like, a human was running around with aliens in the cinematic Marvel universe where it seems, like, less likely.
Yeah.
And I just spoiled it for myself by reading IGN because they told me how. But I won't do that to you listeners because I care.
It's not really a spoiler, though.
But I didn't know, so it spoiled it for me.
That he's half alien?
Well, I didn't know that either, so now I'm even more spoiled.
He's half human, half alien.
Well, in this, they said he was abducted by Missouri at the age of 8 and raised in a group of thieves and smugglers called the Ravagers. I like that group. We do pool on Thursday nights.
Is that accurate? I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, I mean, it might be movie accurate.
Oh,
might not be
so.
might not be comic book accurate. But yeah, so pretty much Thanos slaughtered Gamora's family and Nebula's and then raised them together as siblings. They were bioengineered to become living weapons, and she's also really good at killing people. So that's from the mouth of Gunn. So I guess so that's how he's has a role in or one of the ways.
So Gamora
is
and Peter are brother and sister, or they were raised like siblings.
No. He was saying Gamora and Nebula, who's his daughter.
Oh, Nebula. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Star-Lord.
No, not that guy.
Ah.
No, not at all like him. But
so Nebula is also Thanos' daughter.
Yeah.
So they are indeed half-sisters.
What, Gamora?
Well, I know Gamora is Thanos' daughter.
Well, technically. Well, like adopted daughter.
Are you sure?
I just read it.
Is that... Whatever.
Lisa's linky. Hold on, let me give him the link.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't make... I could have swore, because like the whole thing... Well, I mean, I'm virtually new to Guardians of the Galaxy, but I mean, even like, 6-7 years ago I was reading, I could have swore that... Because she always refers to him as her dad, like...
Oh, Gamora does?
Yeah, if she's adopted, why would you want to claim that? Because, I mean, obviously she's got like a deep-seated hate. Well, so why would you want to claim him as your father still?
But she still might see him as her father, regardless. I mean, even if he's a douchebag of a father, he's still a father.
Yeah, but...
Just because she's a
Snow... But if there's no blood relation, then he's not still a father.
But he
was
raised
just
her.
Some dude that signed paperwork and ruined her life.
He suckled her at his teats.
That's gross.
Yeah, I see Luis backing me up. Says Gamora was adopted by Thanos. He says, I don't remember.
Ever. God.
That's all he's got to say to that.
Good job, man. Thank you.
So anyway, obviously...
I'm more frustrated than ever.
Obviously, IGN would be the thing that would cause discord.
Yeah.
So there you go. Guardians of the Galaxy. They are to frustrate Agamemnon and enrage him. Thanks, IGN. So anyway... This comes from the Mary Sue website you actually do like. But basically, it's kind of digs into a little bit of the future of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Peggy Carter. And they're kind of still on the fence about whether or not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is even going to be around for a second season. Because basically, you know, the season premiere was the highest rated episode, and since then it's kind of been going downhill in ratings, despite the fact that from people who watch it, a.k.a. Luis, it's been going uphill in quality, and apparently last week's episode, Turn, was one of the better ones that they've had, despite the fact that it was a series low for ratings.
Well, I will say this. A lot of people at work have been talking about it, more so than the last couple of weeks. But I will also say it's mostly because those same people have also seen The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And because it ties into the next couple episodes, those people kind of fell off with the show.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 people that I've been talking to. And so they've revisited like the last 3 or 4 whatever episodes they missed to catch up, so that when they saw the follow-up episode that's supposed to mention the fallout from the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then I guess there was another episode after that, which aired, what was it, like Sunday or I don't know, whenever. But yeah, everyone's been talking about it since Winter Soldier came out. Like, oh my God, it's getting good, so hopefully it goes somewhere. And there's people that are Hydra agents and people you don't expect and people you do expect. So it's getting really good. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
So
And
I've been
also-
hearing a lot of the same
Yeah.
happiness about it, and people just really it's a great show.
Yeah. That reminds me. Hail Hydra.
Yeah. Hydra.
But that seems to be the sentiment. But it's kind of sad because it would suck where it's finally finding its feet and finding its audience, and people are actually satisfied with it. For it to be like, well, too little, too late. You should have started off good, you know. And then they ended up getting the axe.
Right.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it works. Okay. Louis says there's been no other episode after Turn. That episode was repeated during the weekend and again this Tuesday at 8.
Okay.
So I still haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since episode 3. So pretty much since they've had all the Marvel movie tie-ins, with Jamie Alexander's character Lady Sif, and I can't remember what the name of the character is, but the agent that's played by the guy who played Hudson in Aliens, one of my favorite movies ever. So that dude comes in there.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Yeah. Game over, man.
No, wait, not Bill Paxton.
Bill Nye.
No, it's a
Bill Hicks.
Frickin'
Bill Murray.
No.
A Bill on Capitol Hill.
Bill, not Pullman.
I think it is Paxton. That name sounds familiar.
Paxton. I thought I said Pullman. Did I say Pullman or Paxton?
No, you said Paxton. The
Okay,
whole
so
time.
I was right. I was thinking Bill Pullman. Freaking president from Independence Day.
Oh.
We will not go cold into that night. Whatever he fucking says.
Oh, man. That's funny. But I haven't even seen it since they introduced him, and I was all excited. But I think I'm just going to wait for the entire season to finish and just Netflix that and just watch it all. But I don't know. I just it's even though I keep hearing good things about it, it's just it's burdened me so hard that it's just I don't know if I could go back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like once you switch, from whole milk to 2% milk for the better half of your adult life, and you go back to whole milk. It's like, oh, this shit is really sweet. Can't drink this shit anymore.
I don't have that problem.
So, yeah. I completely forgot where I was at. But anyway, so the show tosses around the idea of doing Agent Peggy Carter, thinking about doing a 13 episode series. But it's kind of
what they'll probably do is maybe if they do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. second season, it's just going to be like a prequel.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Well, what do you mean?
It's going to show how S.H.I.E.L.D. was founded.
That would be
she's
the
founding mother of S.H.I.E.L.D. pretty much.
They could do that. I mean, it would be a prequel pretty far set in the past because it would still be the 40s or at latest maybe the 50s.
Word.
Maybe even the 60s.
Word.
Maybe the 60s when the government was running around doing clandestine operations.
Yeah. Giving people cheese.
Yeah. Louis says, we gotta go. We gotta. He didn't even. Okay, never mind. Moving on. But I was trying to remember Louis said, but he forgot a word in his statement, and now he just confused me. But yeah, so I don't know. It'd be cool. I would really like to see the an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. prequel sounds like it would actually be really good and really interesting. Because I mean, obviously you'd have Peggy Carter, you'd have what's his name, Tony Stark's dad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they could probably throw in more characters that probably weren't even in the first Cap, and just make a really interesting period piece.
Right.
Yeah, Luis, you laugh at my pain. You laugh at my pain. Okay, since we got to go back, like Jack said. Oh, lost reference. That was lost on me. So anyway, that... Luis. Anyway, so out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to those other Marvel Cinematic Universes, those lesser ones
The one's not actually part of the Marvel Disney Cinematic Universe.
I think I'm going to start referring to the Spider-Man Marvel Cinematic Universe as the Snow Universe because they're a bastard. And then the X-Men one will be Sand because those are the bastards from Dorne. So for the Marvel Snow Universe, they're talking about Carnage. Is he going to appear in a Venom movie? So apparently it's been strongly hinted that they were going to see Carnage make an appearance at some point. What doesn't surprise me at all, considering they want to make a Sinister Six movie, is like, okay, if they're going to go that far to have a movie about villains, and they were trying to build an entire universe around the Spider-Man villains, and with the popularity of Carnage, despite the fact that he's like the epitome of the 90s, you know, he still has a pretty, pretty strong fan base, so it wouldn't surprise me if they actually did see it. So they said that a Spider-Man film of some sort is planned for May 4th, 2018. So let's all start waiting for that one. So they're saying it's possible that it may be the Sinister Six film or potentially a Venom film. Which
I would say neither. Let's just go balls to the wall and Clone Saga this movie series. Clone Saga it to the ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so we could just end it all right now.
Just end it all. The mother of all storylines.
I am the mother of storylines.
I think even to this day, the Clone Saga is like maybe not exactly the most beloved, maybe not even the most hated, but definitely the most talked about, most polarizing storyline in the Spider-Man mythos.
Oh yeah, easily.
You talk to anybody that knows anything about comics, and like anyone will go days tit for tat on the Clone Saga if they know enough about. I know enough to get by, so I can keep up with what people were talking about. But it was just like, even like on Ultimate Central at the time, like it was just fun reading people's posts about like how awfully good it was, or some people were like invested, and other people were just like, it wasn't good. It dragged on for years.
I almost want to read it just to form my own opinion, because I remember like after it happened, like because I remember seeing the cover and thought like the art was good. I'm like, oh, it looks really cool. Why does everybody hate it? But the consensus was just like, this is garbage. I hate it. This is worse than a Bendis Ex Machina. Like, this is awful. Like, people really just like people that hated it, it wasn't just like, oh, this sucked. It wasn't like how I felt about what was that last Marvel one that they had? Not before the Trial of Jean Grey. Man, it's how long it's been since I read
Battle of the Atom.
Battle of the Atom. It wasn't like how I was just like, that was disappointing. I didn't like it that much.
Right.
Like, this was just like complete. This was like vitriol and venom. Just like, I can't believe they did this to my Spider-Man. Like people were just angry. Like they were pissed off. So it'd be a great idea to do it for the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got to stomach Andrew Garfield, you guys got to stomach the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But they could always do the Ultimate Clone Wars, which I guess was better.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Oh, wait, was that the Fantastic Car storyline?
Yeah, that's the Fantastic Car where Reed Richards just shows up at the very end suddenly. Man. Yeah, I got this cool weapon. I don't even want to talk about it. We talked about it before.
Opens up too many wounds.
Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, man. Okay. So anyway, speaking of the Amazing Spider-Man, so apparently the Sinister Six spinoff has a director, and it's going to be Drew Goddard.
Drew Goddard. Yeah. What does he do?
I have no idea.
His name sounds familiar. I know what he does. I just don't know right now.
So, this is kind of interesting. So apparently he's actually going to be working on the Daredevil TV series from Marvel.
World War Z, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
Cloverfield.
Okay.
And Lost.
You lost me at that last one. No pun intended. But
he's also doing the pilot to the Daredevil TV series.
Yeah. So he's got a pretty good track record. Cabin in the Woods I didn't love, but it was not bad. And Lost, for all of its faults and foibles, the writing overall, episode per episode, was not bad. It was just the direction of the series that made it garbage.
Yeah. And
Lindelof, you bastard. I will hunt you to the ends of the earth. But, so it sounds like he's got a good track record. And I'm actually kind of excited for the Sinister Six movie, as much as I'm kind of ripping on the Amazing Spider-Man universe in general. Because, I mean, to me, it's Andrew Garfield is the main reason why I don't like it. And 2, no one's really done a superhero movie that's been, the villains take the center stage.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually kind of ballsy. I mean, granted, they also have no other options. They can't just make, 20 Spider-Man movies a year. So, hey, we want to be like the Avengers, so, we have a good rogues gallery. Let's use those. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of a good thing. I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, I was never a huge fan of the Sinister Six, as a group altogether, but I think that they might do something interesting with it. And the fact that Mr. Goddard has a pretty decent track record, I think it has potential.
Well, okay, so World War Z and what was the other one? And Cloverfield, he actually wrote.
Well, okay.
Cabin in
One
Woods,
Black
I think,
Bar,
was
Cloverfield.
Cabin in Woods was his directorial debut, if I'm reading this right. And so this will be his second venture.
Gotcha.
Not counting, I guess, TV pilots.
Okay.
But yeah, and I guess he's writing the Daredevil, not directing. So.
Yeah. So this one kind of continues on. So basically, Sinister Six is going to be a tale of redemption. So, it says there's no such thing as a villain. There are villains by virtue of choices that people make, but they always began as humans, as characters, as flawed people, as tragic people. Great movies have been made about a bunch of bad guys who got together to do something. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge tradition of it. They're sometimes the greatest characters to watch and a bunch of broken people coming together for whatever reason. So, that's what he says about that. But it's funny that he says that. He's like, well, there's no really such thing as a villain. Apparently you've never heard of Joffrey Baratheon, because I don't think there's anything redeeming about him. He's kind of a little bastard, literally. But no. So I don't know. I think that's kind of cool, where it's kind of you get to see it from their perspective, hey, why did the vulture become such an asshole? Yeah. It's well, because a bird pecked out his eye. I don't know. I really don't know what his origin is, but Mysterio is kind of actually the person I'm the most interested in seeing, just because he seems like he could have a really cool origin story. Yeah. Almost even not as intense, but kind of like the Killing Joke, where it's just he was just a guy trying to be a musician. And then one day he had a really bad day, and now he's a super villain.
And just started killing a bunch of people with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, right.
I would be down for that if they just did if they actually brought Bruce Campbell in.
Yeah,
because Raimi had his plans of he was just going to build Campbell up to be Mysterio, which would have been pretty cool. So I would still like to see Bruce Campbell as Mysterio. Then I would definitely be okay, I got to go see it, regardless of who I do and do not like in this movie.
Well, if they don't pick Bruce Campbell to be him, I want them to have the dude from Arrested Development that plays Job.
Oh, God. Talk about typecast. I actually would I like to see, I know his name, and I can't think of it. Sean from Psych.
Oh, okay.
I think he would be a pretty good Mysterio.
What about Hugh Jackman? He already played a musician.
Only if he sings.
Dude,
if he sings.
I want them to typecast him as just somebody who sings no matter. If it's a dramatic role, he sings. If it's a comedy, he sings. An action movie, it's just I'm spraying you with bullets. That would make my day. So, if not Christian Bale, he also was a musician. Okay. James Roday.
Yeah, there you go. James Roday.
Sounds like a food.
He sounds like a Godzilla animal.
Babura, Babura, Mega Poirier, Mega Poirier. So anyway, it was from South Park. They have Mecha Streisand. She's destroying the town.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yeah, so apparently the Snow Marvel Universe isn't the only Marvel Universe where they want to have spin-offs. Also, the Sand Marvel Universe says, hey, you guys like Mystique, hey? How about we have a Mystique movie? Huh?
Yay.
I mean, we're getting an X-Force movie, an Apocalypse movie, why not Mystique? So first of all, it begs the question of which Mystique. Do we get Rebecca Romaine, who is... She was a great Mystique, the original Mystique. Or are we getting America's Sweetheart, Jennifer Lawrence, also an excellent Mystique?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're going to get both.
Maybe.
Double Mystique.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to satisfy everybody. I mean, come on. You can't just have one Mystique. You got to have two.
Possibly three.
Yeah, they just keep throwing in more and more Mystiques.
Yeah.
But, So basically, it kind of seems like they're just kind of throwing out like everything they'd like to do. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much Lauren Schuler Donner, I guess, who has a producer's credit on every X-Men movie. So he pretty much was like, well, I'd like to do a Gambit movie. I'd like to do a Deadpool movie. Oh, we have lots of great characters. I'd love to see I've loved what Jennifer Lawrence has done with Mystique. And I feel like she has a great opportunity to do another movie. So basically, it kind of seems like they're still in the stage of like, well, we have these characters, we want to make money, so this is what we're gonna do. But it's not like,
and I need another producer credit.
Yeah, right. It's like she has this plaque, and it's like almost full, and she just has like one more spot, and she's like, finally, I'll be able to retire and put up this other plaque that's completely blank and start on that one. So I don't know. I think it would be really cool. I mean, it's one of those things where before, and as much as I love X-Men First Class, like a Mystique movie, like going through her origin would have been a lot more interesting with like the more closer to like the comic origin.
Yeah.
Like now we kind of know her origin, and like her being Professor X's buddy. Yeah. It's pretty like boring compared to like the life that Mystique had in the comics,
Yeah.
Where she was kind of like this. What was it now? She would pretty much like go around and just like have a different identity, here and there, just like dating rich people and just pretty much causing trouble and mischief everywhere she went. So I was like, that actually had a lot of potential. They could definitely still do it like a more like modern one, well, modern quote unquote, with what the characters are doing now.
What you described sounds a lot more like Emma Frost.
Oh yeah,
than actually Mystique.
Well, they're BFFs.
Which I would love to see an Emma Frost movie, I think.
Blood Ocean 07 says more J-Law. Yeah. Luis, of course, says he would love to see an Iceman movie. And Blood Ocean 07 says Mystique movie probably wouldn't be the best option for a standalone movie.
I don't know. I think, well, you're probably right at this, junction in the movieverse. Because, I mean, we're just now getting wind of like the Daredevil TV shows and Ant-Man's getting a movie. It's like, how do you give Doctor Strange a TV show?
You mean a movie?
I mean, wait, who's getting them?
It's gonna be Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and what's her face? Jessica Jones.
I think I would like to see Jessica Jones. I thought the fourth one was Doctor Strange.
No, Doctor Strange is going to get a movie.
Well, never mind.
He's not
that
on the
completely
small
moots
screen.
My point.
Sir, he has a PhD, sir. He goes to the big screen. All right, he's earned it.
Did you imagine if Stephen Strange had to play at his degree?
He probably does.
Instead of like an Eye of Agamotto and like a soul chalice, it's just like a pimp cup and a piece and chain that cost him $40 at the Costco.
Does he have like a sidekick that just keeps like the baby powder for him?
Yeah, I think his name's Aang or something like that.
It's like also strange, but it's just like he only has a master's degree, so you can't put doctor in front of your name. Now give me the baby powder. We got some demons to exorcise.
But I mean. Damn it, you ruined my comment.
Well, while you're remembering, Louis says Mystique in the comics, fun fact, she actually is always naked. She shapeshifts clothes on herself, which I didn't know that, but that's good to know. Okay, it's Wong, I guess.
So if you cut her outfit, does that mean like you're cutting her skin?
Well, if you prick us,
Wong,
do we not bleed?
What did I say?
Right.
That is racist.
I don't remember what you said, to be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, I understand how that wouldn't be like the best choice, but I think it would still be a good choice. I think Emma Frost would probably be a better choice, and even if they did like a rogue reboot, because right now, to hell with anything continuity.
Okay, that's what I wanted to bring up, because she's so terrible at First Class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said Aang, so you just forgot the W.
Oh, what the hell is Aang?
I don't know. Aang Lee's Hulk.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, God. Anyways.
I mean, Wolverine had his chance. I think he ruined it for any solos. I mean, they were even going to give Magneto his solo, and they were just like, let's just make this
First Class.
First Class.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what it was. It was just a Magneto origin with everyone else kind of thrown in and a bunch of no-name mutants.
Yeah.
Well, not a bunch of, but
all.
I mean,
they were pretty no.
The majority of cinema goers who were not also comic book fans probably didn't know who any of these people were.
Well, the only one
exception of Beast.
Well, yeah, there's Beast, but I mean, even then, there's still like Havoc. Like, at best, he's the biggest name they have. Like,
but I would still relegate Havoc to being like, you pretty much got to be a comic book fan to know who Havoc is.
But at least he was in the cartoon. Like, they had they had the people from, like, Morrison's run. Like, they had Darwin, and they had, like, the butterfly chick.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, like, even me being an X-Men fan, they're still, in my opinion, like, still more obscure in the X-Men. Like, even when I was watching the movie, was like, why did they pick these people?
Yeah.
You know, like, it just seemed like they literally just had, like, a bag of names and a hat, and they just drew them out, and they're like, all right, Darwin, Banshee, so...
A young Mystique.
Yeah, right. J-Law, we'll just throw her in there. By the way, she resents that nickname, by the way.
Does she?
Yeah, she said she thinks it's stupid. Only because it is.
I am J-Law, and I am nobody's bitch.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start saying that now. Louise says it made sense for Banshee. Yeah, but he didn't have the Glasgow accent, all right?
Yeah.
By the way, Melanie, welcome to the show and the chat. Very classy. Very classy. But, okay, he says since his daughter is a student in the second X-Men movie. Oh, okay. Oh, Banshee. Or not Banshee, Siren. I mean, I guess that counts, but I don't know. I don't like to acknowledge any other X-Men movie that's not First Class.
But I mean, my point was they picked a cast of people that like the majority of cinema goers that aren't comic book fans aren't really gonna know. So like Blood Ocean said, of course, you know they're gonna know Professor X. Mm-hmm. But like as far as like the X-Men team, like Mystique, probably just because like, hey, it's the blue chick from the other 3 movies. Yeah, you know. But everyone else, like no one's gonna. I definitely am positive that unless you read Deadly Genesis and anything afterwards, you would not know a thing about who Darwin was. Yeah, you know, because Darwin wasn't a character until Deadly Genesis. Mm-hmm. So, but they brought him in there, and he's probably the person that like warranted the least recognition in a movie. Yet they threw him in there, the one black dude. And they killed him. Who
dies? The one person who dies also.
The one person who is supposed to be like Omega level mutant. It's supposed to his superpower is adapting. Yeah. Adapting to anything.
Couldn't adapt to that.
He gets exploded.
You can't adapt to that in the 60s. I'm sorry. Now this was the current time, you know, then maybe you would have stood a better chance. Yeah. But in those days, I'm sorry. Sorry, Romeo. You just gotta die.
You just gotta die.
But to your point, I think it's like not only just the fact that they picked some really obscure people, but I mean the only characters they really developed of those obscure people were Beast and Mystique. It was pretty much like the whole movie is pretty much Professor X, Magneto, Beast, and Mystique, and then every other character is just kind of thrown in there. Kevin Bacon a little bit, and then you know, they have Azrael, and he's only like memorable because he's so well dressed. Yeah. You know, like as Beetle would always say, like red. Yeah, and he's red and has a tail and can teleport. Yeah. Melanie says he adapted to death. So maybe
he's literally like the epitome of the definition of devilish looks.
Oh.
You like it? You like it?
Like Azazel, yes, that's what I said.
What'd you say?
I don't know. That's what I'm going with. That's what I meant to say.
Azrael?
Yeah, I did say Azrael. I meant
like from Batman?
I meant Ariel from Little
Demon
Mermaid.
Batman.
Under the sea. Down here it's wet, down here it's bad to take it from me.
Under the sea. Anyway.
They should have put Sebastian in the First Class. He has crab powers.
What's your power? Well, I'm a crab, and I can talk.
Yeah, right. Is that not power enough? Just moving around his pincers. Not only that, man, unlimited buffet.
I am second in command only to the king of Poseidon, or whatever it was. Was it Poseidon? No, Poseidon. Of course it wasn't.
Aquaman. We know it would be even better. It's like, yeah, he's like doing this audition. It's like, so what are your powers? I can talk. Isn't that good enough? And then they cut to the next scene and everyone's just eating. They're eating crab legs.
Good crab legs. Yeah, it's like I've never had crab. It's like, that's not true. Well, I've never had crab that could talk.
It's like, you know, the fact that he could talk, it actually makes it that much more tender because the way the muscles are worked in that part of the body, and it's just... They're so good. You just have Tony Stark just eating the leg. This is even better than Swarma. Louise said he could have cameoed at the beach. Just kind of showed up there, and then sang a song or two. I think it would help lighten the mood. It would have been like they should have played that scene right after Magneto gets revenge and like kills Sebastian Shaw with a coin through the head, and they just cut to Sebastian singing like this happy song. It's like completely out of place and random. It's like, hey, Bryan Singer had Final Cut, guys. What did you expect? They didn't actually, but that's probably what would have happened. But anyway, so they're already detailing plot details and the new cast of X-Men Apocalypse. So the first detail they had put out, besides the fact that they're going to do it, was the fact that it was quote unquote going to be partially based on Age of Apocalypse, which means it's probably going to be Age of Apocalypse
They're going to take everything that makes Age of Apocalypse, and then they're just not going to go with that.
Yeah. I think if anything, the only thing that is going to be related is Apocalypse is probably going to rule the Earth, and it's going to be like an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
And everything else is going to be different.
And then young Charles is going to be like, I don't want your future. And then old Charles is like, well, I guess you didn't get it. You got one worse.
But I don't want your suffering.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you still got hair, all right? You haven't suffered yet. He's like, I don't. All right, I'll just shut up now. But apparently, it's going to take place in the 80s. I just love how like each one's just jumping another decade, but all the actors are going to pretty much look the same.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to do.
And how does Professor X get his body back? Like, I like how they're just not like explaining that.
I'm sure they will. I mean, he's Professor
But it
X.
won't make sense. It's like, I took another person's body, but aged it another 40 years, shaved his head constantly, and got plastic surgery so I could look like my old self again.
Hey, 2 words: Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Maybe. Hey, if the new Terminator movie can have aging robot skin.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna cut you off right there. If it was a Clone War, don't you think that he would make a clone that could walk?
Nope.
You're like, this clone can walk. It's like, yeah, it's pretty great. No, throw it down a flight of stairs.
Maybe you could walk and he just got paralyzed again at the exact same spot. He's
just
like,
walking down the street. Oh, my back.
Get
me my X chair.
Like he was just so happy and excited to be able to walk. He's just running around, skipping, and just like, hey, look at me. I can do this. And just like, and he walks into the middle of the street and gets hit by a bus. And the next scene, he's like back on the hospital bed. It's like, sir, I have bad news for you. You're paralyzed from the waist down. And he's just like, God damn it.
Not again.
For someone that could read people's minds, I sure as hell didn't see this shit coming.
Hand me a tea, please. Earl Grey.
Luis said the guy was old and bald from what he remembered. But either way, he still wouldn't have.
And looked exactly like Patrick Stewart. Come on.
Maybe he was a twin brother he never knew that he had.
It's my doppelganger that just happened to be in a coma for 40 years.
I have a plausible explanation. The guy on the bed was Jean-Luc Picard.
What was wrong with him? Why was he a freaking vegetable?
Why indeed? You got to wait for the next Star Trek movie to find out.
You know, I would actually like to see like an X-Force movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's just get away from the X-Men and just get all the badass ones and give them their own movie.
But would it be the current X-Force or would it be Cable with 20 pouches? Was Strong Guy your favorite? Wolfsbane? And now I keep conflating X-Factor with X-Force. I never read it. It was Cable, Domino, and
Deadpool.
And I think Cannonball.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who else was in X-Force. Luis, hit me with your best shots.
Okay, the team should be Cable,
Deadpool,
the Indian dude with the knives. I don't even. I still don't know what his superpowers were. Psylocke. And
Psylocke would be badass.
And Rogue,
dude.
But like a cool Rogue, not Anne Paquin.
Yeah.
I want a
Maggie Cohan Rogue. Come on.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, who the hell's... Oh, Walking Dead.
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
Well, how about we throw Gambit in there for old time's sake? Since he can't be anything else.
Yeah.
He can't... I mean, they're like, oh, we can
Gambit. That would be perfect.
I think it's funny. They're like, we can do a solo movie with Gambit. It's like, all right, you have like literally like 50 mutants in Days of Future Past. One of those 50 can't be Gambit?
Yeah.
Really? Come on.
I know.
So yeah, I'm throwing that in the casting hat. He gets to be in X-Force too, and then I think that rounds it out. Just to me, just like Gambit, Psylocke, and Rogue alone make a good cast for me.
Yeah.
Maybe throw in like
and just make it like Expendables, but like good.
Yeah. So in other words, not at all like Expendables.
Well, I mean, just nothing but like selfish action.
Yeah.
Just unabashed violence.
I guarantee if they made it like Expendables and X-Force 2, Gambit's going to parachute after the first action scene and be like, all right, mon ami, I'm out of this movie to my own solo title. And he just jumps out.
What are you doing? Louisiana's right down there, gentlemen. I'm going to give me some gumbo.
I got a date with a gator.
Then you just hear a harmonica playing.
Then Rogue's like, damn it, I knew you loved that swamp rat. Tease! Assassins! Oh, man. So, yeah. X-Men Apocalypse is coming.
Yeah.
I can't even... It's still... I mentioned this when they first announced it. Where it's like, come on. Can we at least get through the Days of Future Past first before...
Yeah.
Because it's like, if that movie ends up not being good, then what excitement am I going to have for X-Men Apocalypse? None. That's how much.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will admit, like, despite, like, it does look like it's going to be one of those movies that's, like, more than the sum of its parts. Because individually, the costumes look stupid. I hate Bryan Singer. Well, I don't hate him, but I don't like him. And it's just, like, everything I've heard about the movie has made me like it less and less. But the trailers have actually been intriguing. The trailers have been looking good, and it actually looks like it might be a solid movie.
The only part I like in the trailer is when James McAvoy says, I don't want your future. I don't want your future.
I don't want your suffering.
And then he closes his ears and starts saying, ah, la, 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 la. And then he starts singing Imagine by John Lennon. Imagine all the people
getting their
friends
XG.
with mutant kind.
I don't know. I like the dark tone of it. I mean, come on. They've got Tyrion Lannister. You know he's going to be up to no good.
Yeah, he plays
He plays, now you got me forgetting, Gyrick?
Yeah.
Is it Gyrick?
Oh, Gyrick.
Yeah. I think
it's
it's
that
Gyrick.
guy with the pedo glasses, right? The one that was he the one that infects himself?
No. That's Creed. That's Graded Creed.
Graded Creed Senior.
Gyrick.
Gyrick was the doctor guy, right? The one that was making the virus.
No.
Henry Gyrick, I think.
Gyrick. It was Trask and Gyrick. One was one had like red or brown hair.
Yeah, but Gyrick had like those, he had shades and like a black flat top hair.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I can't remember which was which.
I think he was a doctor though. I don't think he was like a senator.
No, they were both like scientists. They're both like the people that had like the contract to make the Sentinels.
Right.
But again, either way, he's going to be Bolivar Trask.
Okay.
Not Gyrick, so I had the name wrong.
Oh, so he's going to be... okay.
Yeah.
So he's
the guy that makes the Sentinels regardless.
The mastermind.
Yeah, making the master mold.
Yeah, making the master mold.
Louis says you don't like Iceman. Well, I think we've been through this already. I like Iceman as a character.
We like Iceman. We just don't like the actor who plays Iceman.
Yeah, I don't like that kid. I do like his beard, though. His beard is pretty epic. Okay, so Louis...
He gives him a chin. He gives you something to aim for.
All right, I have to mention this. All right, so you guys should definitely check out the Comic Bubble, and like the latest episode is out, and I was listening to it before we put it up, and Sean Ashmore is his name, and he is not awesome. I'm sorry, but he has on Doom as his guest, and he's all getting excited, and then he mentions Iceman. It's like, yeah, Iceman turns into ice, and you can actually pinpoint the moment where like Luis's heart breaks because Doom is like, yeah, Iceman's pretty lame. It's just like, what? Iceman's not lame. And I actually felt like really bad as I'm listening. Like I was driving, I was like, I had to pull over for a minute and just bask in sadness for Luis. It's like, come on, man. Like Ice is. Why would you say that to him on his own show?
Yeah.
It's one thing to not like who plays Iceman.
It's like going on the Craig Ferguson show and saying you hate Scottish people.
Yeah. Although, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Although they're quite charming. But yeah, so check out the Comic Bubble. But yeah, I was gonna go. Luis said who the original X-Force were, who I couldn't remember. So it's Boom Boom, Cable, Warpath is the Native American guy,
okay.
Cannonball, Shatterstar, Domino, and Farrell, Kevin Farrell. Inside joke.
I
But
like G-Hawk better.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it comes from the X-Men universe. Don't worry, bro. I got this. We're all the same character anyway. Okay, and Gyrick was the blonde. So Gyrick was what I was thinking of. I was thinking he had red hair, but I can see he had blonde hair.
Okay.
But anyway, that tangent aside. So Apocalypse might be good, might not be good. Who knows? I mean, all we have right now is, I don't want your future. I don't want your suffering. The only thing I think is funny about it, and they should have saved Quicksilver if they're going to do the Apocalypse movie in the 80s, because Quicksilver looks awful, but by 80s standards, that dude is hip.
He's if there was Twitter in the 80s, he would be trending.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's Kid Vic. Kid Vic is a product of the 80s / early 90s. Like, this dude, like in that context, when I first saw him, I was like...
Give him a Walkman, a boombox, the latest DJ speakers,
a
vinyl turntable on his back,
just like
a milk crate full of records.
The complete lack of style is just so perfect for the 80s, where it's just like, all right... Because to me,
I just want to hear some beat breaks and go.
You know what they should do is give him a leisure suit.
Yeah,
like a ugly silver leisure suit.
Yeah, like the weird shiny ones. Yeah. But they're like a real they're shiny, but they have this weird matte finish to it. Like, when was the last time this thing was shined? Because it's still shiny, but it's kind of dull.
Well, it's just like when he runs, it shines from the friction.
Like you just see this weird little gleam.
Whenever he's going to try and catch a bullet.
It's like a twinkle in your dad's eye. I swear he looks so dumb. I hate his hair. I'm like, why is he wearing... Okay, all the other crap on his belt aside, because the dude runs fast. He doesn't need his fucking cell phone and all this other bullshit. It's just like...
Maybe he's got
why does he have goggles? Of all the things he doesn't need on his pouch, why does he have goggles?
And the real question is, why not?
Why are there goggles? I just don't... Whoa, hang on.
Oh, damn. We have... oh, my God. It's like seeing a ghost. So we have Bobby Beetle.
Dr. Robert, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's Beetle, folks.
Yeah. Bobby Beetle is joining us in the chat.
Unless we're being tricked by the River City Hobo. That used to be his moniker on YouTube.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, which one is it?
After the Beatles song, because they were both Beatles fans.
Yeah. Well, the picture is of Beetle.
Dr. Robert.
And myself. So I'm assuming it's actually him. But either way, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So for those of you who don't know, he was the third man on the trifecta Straight Outta Austin. He says it reacted instantly. Yeah, our Beetle sense was tingling. And so we had to comment. So
yeah, I got stood up yesterday by Beetle.
Oh, did you?
I mean, I didn't have the equipment to record, but I was I had all the stuff.
But you guilt tripped him nevertheless.
Yeah, I was like, never mind, don't come unless you want to do some let's play recording or something. I had all the stuff for Chili ready. Never got back to me, so I waited. I got online. I got on my PS3, started playing some Gundam, and I was seeing. Bobby Beetle is online, and he's watching Netflix and not coming over anytime soon.
He was probably watching Archer. Great show, by the way.
No, it's not. Stop it.
Hey, he said you never got back to him.
Stop it.
How do you respond to that allegation, sir?
All right. Keep it busy. Keep it busy.
Well, anyway, we'll move on from X-Men Apocalypse. Okay, well, first, Luis had said something about someone has a deal with the Avengers in the comic. He's a lawyer. Oh, okay, Gyrick. So Gyrick's also going to be in the Avengers somehow?
I said, let me know if you're coming, if at all.
He said he's got the documents right here.
I never even got a reply back.
Maybe it got lost in the ether.
I never got a reply back, Beetle. I never got a reply back. You were still texting to my iPhone like a dickbag even after it was explained to you.
Hey.
What?
No, Jesse. I do the replying. I don't know. That just made me think of that.
Stop it.
Okay, well,
Breaking Bad is so faux pas right now.
Hey.
You need to stop it.
You know what's funny?
It's out of style.
You can't say that until you've actually seen all 5 seasons, sir. At that point, Willie says you also make a missed connections ad. Hashtag Craigslist. Hashtag awesome. So anyway, speaking of awesome, so Carl Urban of Judge Dredd fame is urging fans to sign a petition for a Dredd sequel. So
I need money.
So I'm kind of, I don't know, he was in 3 seconds of that crappy Riddick movie.
He was in Doom.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was like the main dude that fights the Rock at the end.
Yeah, that's right. I need soldiers.
I gotta save my sister.
Soldiers. He shoots that kid in the head.
Yeah. What was like his name? Like Two Guns or something? Or the Kid?
Guns.
I am the Kid.
Full of bracelets.
Like they picked like the worst in online names. Like, the Kid, codename the Kid.
Codename
he uses
Kid
two
next door.
pistols because that's super effective when you're fighting demons.
They are, and the demons are.
That's like having those 5.7s in when you're playing.
Counter-Strike?
Yeah. The 5.7s, like the dualies.
Oh,
like, dualies! They're like the most ineffective gun!
You waste every bullet and hit nothing.
It's like, dude, I'm packing 50 rounds before I have to reload.
Well, at least they have a nice
and you
silhouette
hit
around
nothing. You just hit nothing.
Well, anyway, but he pretty much wants his movie to come back. And so apparently the movie only grossed only $13.4 million. You know, I can write you a check for that easily, Mr. Urban. But so it wasn't enough to get them automatically greenlit for a sequel. So he's like, hey, fans, you want to see me shoot people in Mega City 4 or whatever Mega City it was and sign this petition? So on one hand, I think it's cool because a lot of people really love that movie. I saw it. It was really good. It wasn't great, but my expectations were set high by Spill.com because they compared it to The Raid. And I was just like, all right. It was similar. I mean, the plot is pretty much they go into a building, everybody wants to kill them. So it was similar in that regard.
Yeah.
I was thinking action on that level, which it clearly was not.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still good action, but I mean, come on, you can't compare anything to The Raid.
No, you can't. You honestly, there's very little.
The closest
and
thing,
you literally have to go back to like late 70s, early 80s Jackie Chan.
Yeah, the closest thing like for close to nowadays would be like The Protector, and even that pales in comparison.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, so my expectations were way too high, but for the movie overall, it was pretty good. So he's wanting people to sign an online petition, and I'll link that for those of you that want to. But my only thing for that is just kind of like, I mean, when has anybody actually signed a petition for a movie that's gotten made? If anything, he should be promoting like a Kickstarter so they can Veronica Mars that movie.
Yeah.
You know, like money talks. Like an online signature. Nah, Hollywood's gonna be.
That's so 99.
Hollywood's gonna be like, oh, look at that. That's so cute. Let me scratch its chin.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter's gonna be like, cha-ching.
I hope these people got $10 in their pocket each.
Yeah, right. It's like, how about this, guys? Give us $10 to make the movie, and then give us another $10 to watch the movie.
And then another $10 to advertise the movie.
Yeah.
And then we might make the movie.
And then another $10 for popcorn, please.
Yeah. Movie pictures are $10. Anyways,
just go back to the Counter-Strike thing. Bobby says the only gun where spray and pray doesn't work. Pretty much, it's like the bullets just all deflect just automatically. And also, we have another guest. I wish you guys were actually here, like physically, because we have Mark.
Good job, RoboCop.
Yeah, I was about to say better luck next time, RoboCop.
You have the worst name. Like, you imagine if you had just met this dude, like, hey, I play Halo or Call of Duty. He's like, oh, I play Halo and Call of Duty. It's like, oh, cool, let's swap Xbox account names. Like, okay, mine's Good Job, RoboCop. But little did you know that there's an X Good X Job X Robo X Cop X. And then you would never find him. And he would never take the time to look at you ever again.
This sounds like you're speaking from experience.
No, I just remember always seeing his names. Because he went through like a stint when we lived together.
Oh, didn't he change his name like every month or something?
Like every week! I was like, dude, where do you get the money for this? It's like $7 per name change.
Hey, he works hard for the money.
He does.
And he's gonna work hard for you now.
Stop.
But anyway, appreciate you joining us, buddy. And also, it's funny because I mentioned Veronica Mars. Like, they should just try and kickstart. And in the article, it's like he says the support really does help. And in a world where fans recently made Veronica Mars movie possible, I believe his claim. At the very least, it doesn't hurt to try. So
he's probably sitting at home thinking like, come on. This crap, Veronica Mars. Who still watches that crap? Of course, they can make a Dread 2. Let's make people do a petition.
I think people were actually people that are fans of Veronica Mars. I think were actually satisfied with it.
Right. Yeah.
I've never.
This movie's for them. That's what it is.
I mean, I've never seen it. I don't even know what it's about. But so I couldn't say. But even then, it's like okay, maybe they loved it. But even so, they still missed the point where it's like, yeah, sure, fans made Veronica Mars happen. With money.
Yeah.
Not with, hey, hey, Hollywood, can you pretty please make this movie for us? You know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, they follow internet trends sometimes to decide, like, hey, what movie are we going to put out there? And it's like, you know, it's like it's very disproportionate where it's like, hey, this is what the fans want. And then the movie comes out and it flops. It pulls like a John Carter, you know? And then it's just like, yeah, we're not going to listen to the internet ever again. It's like the only way, if you guys really want that movie, then, you know, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the funny thing with John Carter's because I've heard it's, like, incredibly good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't really given the time of day.
Well, I think one of the problems is it's called John Carter. I mean, it's pretty...
Mars.
But they took that out of the title. If they called it John Carter of Mars, I guarantee you it would have done better. I mean, seriously, how plain does John Carter sound?
Yeah.
It's like...
But then when you add the of Mars,
yeah.
like, that sounds pretty
It's
cool,
like,
actually.
I'm going to go see John Carter of Mars! You're like, dude, he's on Mars?
Yeah.
We're there now.
I mean, there's plenty of... There's like 18 John Carters with just a 3-city block. But a John Carter on Mars?
Yeah.
How many are there, bro? Like 1?
Dude,
2?
Does he ride a Curiosity? Because that would be awesome.
Yeah. He's over there trolling Curiosity. He was that little light speck that was in the rover picture the other day.
They should do it where it's like it takes place like in the current timeline, and there's this whole society, and they just troll Earth.
It's like,
all
dude, those
the time.
Earthlings, they got this stupid little robot running trying to find us, man. This thing's so slow. It's like it spends 5 days in one spot, literally digging up old poop. Old poop, dude.
All they found so far is ice. They're like, oh yeah, there's totally life up there, and we're totally not gonna let us find us.
Yeah. But we're downstairs, though, dude.
Yeah, right. Obviously, they don't know we're near the Mars' core, where it's still warm.
Yeah, and away from the robots.
And we know that if we won the war, that's where the party would be. Oh yeah, Mark said he only changed his. He said it was only 10 times he changed his name.
It was 10 times in 4 days.
Maybe it was 7 days.
It was 10 times that week.
Probably. Sure. But in other news, so apparently, Cosmicology. If you like digital comics,
Comicsology.
What did I say?
Cosmics.
Did I say that?
Make it sound like it's sponsored by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was a spokesman.
He's doing TV now.
So he's not doing the funny papers anymore?
No.
Not even digital?
No.
But digital is the wave of the future.
It was. Now it's all about InMind.
I don't know, because Amazon had... That's a throwback from like episode 3. You get it now? But Amazon is called...
Carl Sagan's dead, Beetle. Damn it. Carl Sagan is dead.
No, Luis, I'm not buzzed. I just pronounce every name that I read very weirdly. But Comicology has been bought by Amazon. So I don't know what this means for Cosmicology.
Cosmicology. Yeah, it makes you wonder if anybody's still going to be able to sell like their graphic novels on Amazon and stuff.
Oh, you know what I think is going to suffer the most? Because I don't remember if you remember the story for people that had like erotic stories about people having sex with like mythical beasts,
dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, like Bigfoot, Bigfoot XXX. Like those were like banned by Amazon. So I wonder if the comic industry is now going to suffer the same.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have your pull list.
Bigfoot loves Godzilla.
Yeah, and Minotaur had my wife. If that was on your pull list, I'm sorry. Amazon might be trying to censor you, so get ready. Make sure you buy all the issues you can now, because they might be coming to an end. And you might not be coming
anymore.
So
you might have to find another really weird, secluded fetish to get into.
You're going to have to start going back to the Megaplex for those indulgences. But I think it's interesting because it's like, on one hand, it's cool for Cosmicology for, getting that big to even be bought, where it's like, yeah, that shows how much potential there is for digital comics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it always sucks when it's like, oh, this is a brand new startup made with love. We love comics. That's what we're doing. And then like a monolith like organization buys it up, and you're like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, well, secretly, that's what everybody wants. Like, oh, we want to make this big enough to where we get offered like $200 million.
So Amazon, if you're listening, punchthewallsreality.com will be sold out for $200 million.
Yeah. We will sell it for $5.
We'll sell it, and then we'll remake it. Okay, just for those of you who don't know, that don't watch mixed martial arts, there's an organization called Pride FC, and they got bought out by the UFC, and like a year later, they just made Dream FC. And there was like literally the exact same people doing the same thing, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, you guys buy us for $30 million. We're just gonna remake it, and we're in Japan, so there's not anything you can do about it."
Yakuza.
Yeah, exactly. They'll cut off your finger, bro. So we're just gonna like rebrand, just like punching through the walls of reality.
Yeah,
since people think that's their name anyway.
Yeah, punching through walls. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but that's not what it is. That's not what we do here. We don't punch through walls. We punch the walls.
Yeah, exactly. Whether or not it goes through is up for debate.
Yeah.
But we'll find out eventually. But going back to your comment about Carl Sagan being dead, Bobby said, "You don't say that!
You don't say that!" Okay, so anyways, I don't know if you remember, but like a week or so ago, there was a big stink on the internet similar to this, with Comixology getting bought. But it was Oculus Rift getting bought by Facebook. And it created a lot of controversy, mainly from the Kickstarter backers. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. You can kind of run punching the ceiling every day. Damn it, Melanie.
But, that's really interesting because it's one of those things, especially like Oculus Rift, like I said on, I think 2 podcasts ago after it, went to the wall in the Game of Thrones realm. I was like, oh man, I'm actually kind of excited for the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, like a week after that. Yeah,
the second
we're getting bought.
The second Facebook of all companies bought it, I was like, done.
Yeah.
Done. And everyone on Facebook, it's funny to go on Facebook to bash Facebook because everyone's like, well, I use Facebook all the time, but I don't want to know into my Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Because Facebook is one of those companies where it's like, you use it because, there's no other real alternative to Facebook. There's Twitter. There's other social networks. There's MySpace. Nice knowing you, Tom. But yeah, there's... Oh, man. Justin Timberlake, you failed to bring sexy back.
I know. All those monies wasted.
Oh, there's Google Plus. If you're into that sort of thing. And that's what you need for your income bracket.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But Facebook stands alone in what it does. But even then, it still does annoying things that people hate. And, they'll change something up. They'll do something that interferes with your privacy. And people will just be like, oh, we hate this. Screw you, Facebook. Stop doing this. Zuckerberg, you asshole. And they don't care. They don't care at all. Like, they're one of the least responsive companies to what their actual users want and care about. There's a whole thing where if you have a page and you have like 1,000 likes on your page, only like 10 people are going to see what you post. That pisses people off, but they obviously don't care,
Yeah.
So you're having a company that has that reputation, and they're going to be... the Oculus Rift is pretty much the biggest name in, like, the VR gaming market,
Right.
and that's supposed to be the wave of the future for VR gaming, and it's like, you're gonna let these guys do it, Like, it's almost like there's, like, a whole, like, just a collective sigh when that happened, where I was like, well, I'm just going to stick to 2D then, because I don't even want an immersive 3D gaming environment now. So, yeah, it's not as bad with Amazon because generally people tend to like Amazon. So, I think if anything, the best part of the partnership is when you order comics now from Comixology, they'll deliver it via drone right to your doorstep.
Does it get you a free prescription to Amazon Prime?
They're probably going to work something in together like that, I'd imagine. Beetle says the best thing to happen since Virtual Boy, Kappa. So
Kappa?
Yeah.
You're not a stream monster right now, Beetle. You're on Mixler. You're not on Twitch.
Hey, that doesn't mean he can't stream monster. That doesn't mean he can't.
A Kappa face. You have to post the Kappa face.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like he was expecting the face to pop up. I thought he was being ironic and just saying it. But either way, yeah. So Amazon, I don't know. I kind of withhold judgment, so we'll see how it goes. Blood Ocean says Facebook has millions, so the people who develop Oculus Rift could make it better and how they want. Instagram was bought by Facebook, and they didn't really change.
True.
Be that as it may, Beetle says being a stream monster is in his blood. It's in the blood. Yeah, I get that. It isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's like the knee-jerk reaction is like, come on, not Zuckerberg or Eisenberg or Zoidberg. Like, they ruin everything. The extinct species. But yeah, that is true. They do have more money for research and development, but it still leaves a bad taste. I just feel like ads are going to start popping up like while I'm playing my video game.
Well, they kind of already are on Facebook. It's like you go to Facebook and it's just like an eyesore. Like, okay, like I'm on Facebook right now, and Jelani Liggins just said, "I am so lucky to have my wife." Oh, that's a moment of awe right there. And then right below that, suggested pages, elite entertainment live events, and it's just a bunch of douchebags with Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney, and a dude that looks like a fat maybe young, maybe old version of Chibs from Sons of Anarchy.
I thought you were going to say one of the advertisements, as you mentioned, wife, was going to be like RussianBrides.com or something.
I have no interest in this shit, but it's there. I can't do anything about it. And then on the side, there's like Adobe Creative Cloud sponsored. There's a trending thing, which is kind of cool, but I don't give a shit about Lana Del Rey. I don't give a shit about Pharrell Williams, and I don't give a shit about American Airlines.
But sir,
so that is it. It doesn't mesh with my page and the things that I like every day. So it's like, why do I care about any of this? I don't care about Adobe Creative Cloud or Times Change at att.com or State Farm or Save Big on this truck month.
So what you're saying
or
is...
adoption? Really? How do you go from adoption to sign Kirby comic page on eBay?
Exactly. Even adopted kids want Kirby's, all right? But either way, so basically what you're saying is while you're playing Dynasty Warriors Gundam 7 on your Oculus Rift, you don't want to see trending topics out of the corner of your eye that have nothing to do
I need to
with
see
what
the
you enjoy.
Armor health, and I need to see where my enemy, where Char Aznable's coming from.
You don't want to see the remix to the remix of Happy by Pharrell Williams?
No, I don't. I do not. Stop that, woman. What are you doing? No, it's all good.
But, so...
Professionalism!
Anyway, so I'm going to move to the next topic now. So we mentioned last week that David Letterman was retiring. Yay, boo, who cares? But that he may possibly be replaced by Stephen Colbert.
I think that was confirmed.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, is this what that was?
Yeah, so yeah, it has been confirmed that Colbert will be replacing, what's his name, David Letterman on The Late Show. So it's one of those things that's bittersweet, because again, it's good for Colbert's career. But at the same time, it's gonna be like the end of the Colbert Report, And it was funny because I haven't really actually sat down and watched the show for a while because I don't have cable. But on his website, you can watch the episodes and watch clips. And I forgot just how good it was. Like he was interviewing the Russian group Pussy Riot, and the interview was so hilarious. And I just love he kept trying to troll them, and they just kept trying to troll him back. And it was one of those interviews where they're doing it through a translator, but obviously they understood English, so sometimes he would ask the question before the translator would even translate it. Somebody would answer, and or one of the two girls would answer, and they would just already have like a troll response in mind, just waiting for it. So it was pretty hilarious, and it's just granted he can still kind of do that when he has the Late Show, or I keep forgetting what it's called. Yeah, the Late Show. But it just seems like a lot of what was so great about that show was probably going to go away. But at the same time, it's Stephen Colbert, and you can't go wrong with Stephen Colbert. So I think he's still going to do very well at that show. I think
on the upside, you will get a lot more skits.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a lot of more not so much improv or on the fly stuff. I mean that's still cool, but we'll actually get more scheduled skits, stuff that they've taken time to film and rehearse. Yeah. And then, I don't know, because that was one of the funniest things. He would do the interviews, but he'd do other stuff like monologues and stuff when he was on The Daily Show. I don't think he did it as much when he was on Colbert Report. But I don't know. Hopefully they'll do something and bring that back and maybe discover some new funny talent as well.
Yeah. Beetle says, what if Letterman wants to come back and they give Colbert the Conan treatment? And then he just goes right back to The Daily Show. It's definitely a possibility. I mean, with these late night hosts, these prima donnas. I mean, who knows? But I guess the difference was I thought with Leno was he wanted to go to another show, and that show ended up being really crappy, so he came back. And then he finally actually really retired. But I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, it would be cool to see more skits, more of a sketch comedy type show interwoven with the whole. With the whole, lost my train of thought. What the
happens.
Hell? Yeah, basically, adding sketch comedy to pretty much the whole interview process and the whole talk show format in general. Okay, so apparently U.S. Airways tweeted out one of the most graphic things ever seen in a brand tweet. So I was just sent this by Agamemnon, who I think was sent this by Hibiki Genjin.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So
that's what it was.
so that was my getting distracted mid-sentence. So it says it all started during this pretty routine conversation with a customer. So this is Ellie Rafter at U.S. Airways. Unhappy that the 787 sat for an hour on a tarmac in CLT because overweight, resulting in an hour late arrival in PDX. And then someone says, so U.S. Airways tweeted back to them, "We truly dislike delays too. I'm very sorry your flight was affected." And then Ellie says, "Yeah, you seem so sorry. So sorry, in fact, that you can't be bothered to address my other tweets." And then so on Monday, U.S. Airways tweeted this: "Welcome back, Ellie. If your travel is complete, you can detail it here for a follow-up view." And they posted a picture, and I'm sure they posted the wrong link, unless U.S. Airlines has just gotten very ballsy, or in this case, very vagina-y. And it's a picture of a woman who's naked, spread eagle with an airplane flying into her nether regions, and it's blacked out. But you can imagine that. See, I think
there's a link to the picture, to the actual picture. I'm afraid. I'm not.
I think what happened is that's what happened to the plane that was lost in Malaysia.
Oh god!
And I think we finally solved the mystery, and that's where it went.
I'm getting egged on by Hibiki.
I just clicked it. Hey, it's nothing. This is nothing you won't see late night on Craigslist Casual Encounters. Let me tell you. But so there's all the reaction shots. You just have WTF, LOL. I can't even retweet it. Someone says, "I would hate to be the PR department for U.S. Airways right now." Pulitzer and featuring writing goes to U.S. Airways tweet. Some people are saying U.S. Airways was hacked, but it looks like it was an inside job.
I'm imagining Mark just like laughing really hard right now.
Oh, man.
And then slowly pulling his pants down.
He has a bear in one hand, his bits and pieces in the other. Louise says, "Where's Hibiki?" She's over on the couch laughing her ass off right now.
Yeah, looking for another article to troll.
She's sitting there like a puppeteer with like the strings, and she has like a Prometheus and Agamemnon puppet.
Marionettes.
Yeah. And then she's twirling her invisible mustache like. So that's what she's doing, in case you guys were wondering.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think we lost a listener.
It's funny. We gained a couple.
Oh, it was Bobby. Okay. Bobby probably went to have some private time with that picture. So so basically, I kind of feel like this is the thing that I think is funny. Mark doesn't know us too well, and Louise says she needs to come join us on the podcast. But so this is one thing about the U.S. Airlines tweet and the picture that accompanied the tweet. It's like, okay, sure, it's going to offend and turn off a lot of people, but you have to know that there's there's a group of people out there that are like, dude, when I fly anywhere, I'm flying U.S. Airways, because there might only be like a 1 in 10 chance, but there's a possibility that something similar to that encounter might happen, and they're going to be a U.S. Airways fan for life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not going to lose very many fans, because really, who follows an airline on Twitter? Like seriously, it's like, oh man, I'm following Chris Hardwick on the Nerdist so I can find out about new geek movies or whatever. Or, hey, I'm following Bendis so I can troll him about all his writing tics. But U.S. Airways, like really, like you're gonna follow like who's like, dude, did you just see what U.S. Airways just tweeted? Plane tickets for $99. It's like, yeah, I see that on the commercial. They run that special every year.
Yeah,
dude.
it's on my Facebook.
yeah, whether I want it to be or not. So I don't know. I think it's funny. I'm sure if anything, the publicity is probably just going to help them. Speaking of that, I've just booked my ticket onto U.S. Airways, so I'll be in the sky trying to. Yeah, there you go. Blood 07 joining the Mile High Club. That is exactly the case, sir. That is exactly the case. So, moving on to the next topic. First of all, I won't spoil anything. I'm
totally going to spoil it.
I'm tempted to, but I won't. But I almost feel like I covered this last week, but I probably did. But I'm going to cover it anyway. So Game of Thrones premiered on HBO last Sunday, and apparently it was so, it's such a great show. It's such a great show that HBO Go crashed and burnt into flames, and it wouldn't even work for people, which is good for me because by the time I got home, it was fine, and I got to watch it without any problems. So thanks HBO for getting it done by the time. By midnight that night. Louise says, that's this show, not spoil.
I know, you know so well.
Yeah, well, like I said, there are two like sacred things for me. There's Breaking Bad, which is now over, and I will now spoil, and Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones, like even I, being pretty much my alter ego is the spoiler, the evil villain that spoils everything. I can't spoil Game of Thrones. Like if Game of Thrones was spoiled for me, then I would have my vengeance with fire and blood. Fire and blood.
Fire and blood.
So
yeah, you once threatened to kill me when I was talking about reading the Wikipedia.
Oh yeah,
and reading a bunch of stuff for myself. It's like, well, I'm this far in the deep. Might as well keep reading. I don't even think you had read the first book yet.
Probably not.
And I was explaining stuff to you, like, I think this is what's going to happen. There's some, like, prophecy with Jon Snow, and, like, there's something really crazy that happens with him in the...
And I was like, silence!
Yeah, you were like, stop. And then, like, a week later, I was like, so I started finishing... Because I think you had only read the first book. And, like, well, I decided to finish the first book, and I started reading the second one. And I was like, oh, well, good for you. And then, like, 2 weeks later, I was like, I finished all 5 books. Well, that's some fast reading.
It was funny, because I literally had finished Season 3... And I was like, all right, you know, I'm just fiending for more Game of Thrones. It's like I have to wait an entire calendar year. The season's not split up like Walking Dead, where it's like you get spring Walking Dead, you get fall Walking Dead, you got Walking Dead.
It is only
for
10
season.
episodes.
Yeah, and it's only 10, and it ended the most anticlimactic way ever. Misa,
yeah,
Misa. So as you can imagine, I was chomping at the bit for more Game of Thrones, and I needed my fix.
Yeah.
So I got the whole series, and I started reading, you know, the first book, read the second book, and, you know, the season 3 takes place, you know, it's pretty much they say it's the first half of book 3, but it's actually like the first 800 pages of
book 4.
No, it's like the first 800 pages of book 3, and like there's maybe like 300 or 400 pages left. But either way, it's still like, you know, half of that story. So I was like, okay, I'm only gonna read up until the Red Wedding, so I'm expecting it to end at like page 600 or so, and I'm reading, no Red Wedding, I'm reading, and then finally gets to the Red Wedding, and I just like I think I finished that chapter, and I'm like, all right, I put it away, put it back in my backpack, you know, my work at the time. I'm like, all right, let me just watch inmates, make sure they're not killing each other. Looking around, you know, kind of putting my fingers on the desk, pacing around a little bit. Reopen my backpack. Open. Okay. I'm just gonna read one paragraph. I mean, one more chapter. Just one more chapter. Read that. One more chapter. Before I knew it was like I had finished that book before the day was over, and I'm like, well, book 4.
Yeah.
And then book 5, and then all the release chapters from book 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm addicted. I'm Prometheus, and I have a problem.
You're sick, bro.
I am. The only cure, and the purest cure, is fire.
Which is also death, essentially.
Hey, it's a cleanser, all right? If you had seen the last episode, you would know.
Wipes bones clean.
Luis said he's done with all the Percy Jackson books. Read it all in one day. Aren't those books like 20 pages or something? And
I mean, they're long if you're like 12 years old.
Did they make a whole series of Percy Jackson movies?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like the next Harry Potter series, and it just never really took off.
Unless that even your real name. Yeah, it's right on my birth certificate, written in an ink pen.
Prometheus.
About 400 pages. Oh, that's cute. The Cure is more cowbell. I can dig that. Okay. So that one movie took all the books, I guess. But either way, yeah. So Game of Thrones crashed HBO Go, which I want to do like an impromptu review of HBO Go. So I didn't have it until maybe like a month ago, as my parents pretty much gave it to me. Like not even just like, hey Dad, what's the password? Like enthusiastically, like, you don't have cable, son. We got to change this. You need to watch quality programming. Here you go. Let me set this up on your PS3. Okay, actually, I set it up because I don't think even my dad knows how to use a PS3. But I set it up, and I'm like, all right. We had a debate about HBO Go when they first mentioned that it was going to be on the PS3 on our other podcast, which you can listen to, Safe File Corrupted. And we were like, well, does it have the entire HBO library? For instance, if I wanted to watch, say, The Wire, arguably the best show once on television before Breaking Bad was invented, you can. It's on there.
Cool.
So now I can watch The Wire.
Yay.
And it's like, you know, it actually, unlike Netflix, it has movies you want to watch.
Right.
Speaking of that, I did watch The Watch with Jonah Hill and Vince Vaughn. The movie's terrible.
It's bad.
It is so bad.
All right, do you pay for HBO Go, or is your parents were like, I got this?
Well, they pay for it because it's part of the HBO package, so you can't buy it separately.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But you can have it separately every night.
Stop it. Well, I rented it from Redbox, so I'm still, even with that, I'm pretty sure I paid more than what you had to.
Well, yeah, well, I didn't pay anything, so.
Yeah, I paid $1.
Roughly
$1.25.
Even with $1.25, you still did not at all get your money's worth.
You know what? It's funny because I was just like, well, at least I only paid $1.25. But like, I felt like it could have been a lot stronger, but it just wasn't that good. Sadly,
it was so bad. Okay, the worst part. Okay, Ben Stiller. Normally, I like his comedy, but I think I only like him when he plays like an over-the-top character.
Yeah,
when he's playing like the quote-unquote the straight guy, where he's like, "Oh, I'm the guy who."
Like Along Came Polly.
Yeah, like I don't like him. I like him when he's an asshole, or he's just like aloof and he doesn't know what's going on. Like either Zoolander or Dodgeball.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. Yeah, he has to be some sort of moron, and he plays those characters well. When he's just like, "Oh, I'm the nice guy. Oh, I have erectile dysfunction. My wife wants to sleep with me." Blah blah blah. He's annoying.
Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Okay,
not so much.
Okay, well, that's a different kind of movie, though.
Yeah.
That's when he's trying to do his serious dramatic roles.
I don't like it, though.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
It looks kind of stupid to me. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay, then you got Vince Vaughn. To me, is hit or miss. And he kind of was left like a bad taste in my mouth. And then they have like the British guy that looks like Jermaine, if Jermaine was like more brown. And I don't know what his name is.
Oh, he's from the IT crowd.
Yeah, he looks, I swear, he has the same demeanor
I forget his name.
of Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. And then, of course, you got Jonah Hill, which I was starting to get sick of Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's rewon my heart with Wolf of Wall Street, obviously, because Quaaludes.
So weird. And those teeth. Those miraculously horrible teeth.
Oh, man. Remember Ben Stiller and Friends? I did not. I never watched Friends. Thank you, Luis. Yes, Vince Vaughn left yes, Vince Vaughn was once in my mouth.
Richard Ayoade.
And I do have a secret, and if I told you, then it wouldn't be a secret, Luis.
That's that guy's name.
Oh, what was it?
Richard Ayoade.
Oh, okay. I'm only Meet the Fockers. Oh,
where did Beetle go? Did he just like ditch us?
I think he probably went back to work.
Oh, did he?
They're probably like, are you listening to a podcast over there?
Yeah.
No. I mean, yes. I mean, I just want to be a part, and he just puts his hand up in the air like he's in prison, like, wait for me, guys.
Oh,
wait
Billy.
Yeah. But anyway, Jonah Hill was like the only good part of that movie, and like everyone else was just obnoxious and annoying, and even like the part when he gets to like the aliens. Oh, this was the thing. It was slow for a comedy that like was as raunchy as that one and as like over the top. It should not. If you commit any sin of a comedy, just like an action movie, it should not be boring and it should not be slow.
Yeah,
like
it should be funny for at least 87% of the film.
Because to me, it's like if you're going to make a movie that slow, then at least have like character development. Like if you're going to have a plot that's actually interesting.
Yeah.
And if not, then just do the Family Guy style and just joke after joke after joke.
Yeah.
And they didn't either. It was just like, what are all these scenes doing here? Why am I not laughing?
Yeah.
I want to be laughing right now.
Yeah.
And like the raunchiness of the humor, as much as I love Superbad, which is one of my favorite movies, probably one of the raunchiest comedies out there, it was so not needed. This movie is about a neighborhood watch who fights aliens.
Yeah.
You don't need like random dick jokes. It's just like it's unnecessary.
Well, I mean, even with like Superbad, there's at least like a level of like of relatability.
Yeah.
You know, because like you and I kind of went through that same thing. Like we didn't have like that crazy night, but like graduation night
unfortunately
sucked. Graduation night sucked balls. You know, when we spent our night
in the
got ditched by one of our best friend. That was prom night.
Oh, that was prom night. Oh, wait. Okay, you're talking about
prom night. We were somewhere like in a cornfield somewhere. I'm not going to go into details. We escaped the cops. That's all I'm going to say.
GTA style. We had 5 stars on us.
Yeah. Right from under their noses.
Yeah, literally.
I sat there for 8 minutes in the car, slowly turning the ignition, pretending like it was like the front door to my house. Like the more slowly I turn it, the more quieter the engine will be. It's like, no, it's a combustion engine, you idiot.
It's like, hold on, tick, tick.
It's a 4.6 liter 98 Mustang. It's going to roar a little bit.
What if it just purred?
Yeah, if only it was more like a Prius. It'd be
Should have had a smart car.
You just had like a nice little hum. Someone would think the AC just turned on.
Yeah, right. It's like, whew, it was getting a little bit hot in here.
Crazy nights.
But Superbad was like, it was relatable. It's like, these were high school seniors.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because then at like 4 a.m, literally like less than 12 hours after we just walked the stage, what was that, like 9 o'clock?
Something like
8,
that.
9 o'clock. And then we went out and partied. We went down and played video games all night downtown.
Because that's our party.
And then at 4 a.m, you had to catch a flight to North Carolina to your new life for like the next... It felt like a millennia.
Well,
But I was just like, well, we'll see you later. Except for us, there was no Emma Stone and unmentionable brunette.
yeah, right. Yeah, unnamed extra.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever done any movies like after that.
I don't think so, no.
Well, she peaked. She peaked.
Yeah.
Not all of us can peak.
She got her 15
Not all of
minutes.
us can peak in a almost sex scene with McLovin.
Yeah. Throw up.
Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, she was the one with Eisenberg.
Eisenberg, yeah.
Michael Cera.
Yeah, Michael Cera. Dick.
But I mean, my point is, unlike The Watch, it was just like Superbad was relatable. It's like, obviously, you're like, what, like, I don't know, when you graduate, like 16, 17, 18.
20.
Yes, some people might have been 20 in their senior year. But obviously, you're going to be a lot more hormonal, to put it nicely. So it makes more sense where it's like their entire like last couple days of high school was all about sex.
Yeah.
It's like these guys are like, what, 40 and 50 on The Watch? Except for maybe Jonah Hill's maybe like mid-30s, early 30s.
Yeah, late 20s.
But like Vince Vaughn is old.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear him talk about that stuff.
No, I think he was supposed to be like a high school kid or something.
Vince Vaughn?
No, Jonah Hill.
Oh, Jonah Hill. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm saying, and they're running.
He had just graduated or something.
Well, Jonah Hill, regardless, was the only funny part.
Yeah.
But like everyone else is really old, and it's just like, the humor didn't fit. It's like, you guys need to evolve your comedy because it's not working.
There was another one they were in called The Internship, but it was like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. It's like still the same fraternity of like old bros. But it's like they're trying to recapture like the gold of like old school.
If you want frat houses, should bro stones.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're trying to recapture like the awesome, like the gold of like old school and like a couple of those other movies where they were like, yeah, this was it. And then they do like Hall Pass, Internship, and then The Watch.
The only one they ever had
these
was
are awful. It's like you can't. Repeat.
You're not going to recreate Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, you're not going to repeat Wedding Crashers. You're just not. Just go do your own movies. Stick to Wes Anderson. That's what made you famous, Owen. Vince, I don't know.
By the way, Owen Wilson was good in.
Keep hiding that ugly thumb of yours.
Vince Vaughn's thumb?
Yeah, he's got a thumb. I think it's his right thumb. I forget, but he always hides it from the camera because it's like grotesquely long and odd looking. But he always hides it.
Wow, I've never noticed that.
So his shots are always like from one angle, and then when he's like talking, he's always hiding it.
Will that make him better or worse at hitchhiking?
It's like a claw.
And the claw picks who stays and who goes.
It's not. It's like an orangutan's thumb. It's like good for grabbing like tree branches and just like hugging tight.
Dude, did they ever make a sequel to the Inspector Gadget movie? I know it was gonna play Claw.
Yeah, the Claw.
He's all like petting a cat. It's like trying to get away from him.
He's just gonna be eyeballing that thumb the whole time. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, the cat will only let him like scratch it with like the forefingers. Once the thumb like hits it, he just starts scratching at him. Starts scratching back.
I'm gonna go to that scratching post. Anyways.
Oh man, but yeah. So even though HBO Go has a plethora of great movies, The Watch is not one of them, and I would highly recommend not watching it. So and I know last episode I mentioned that I was gonna go see Nymphomaniacs. Still have not seen it yet, but it's on my queue of movies to go see. If it's on video on demand, I'll probably just watch that because I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it out to the movie theaters. Mark says, why would he not embrace the thumb? That's a good question.
It's an ugly thumb.
But Owen Wilson's embraced the nose. Seals embraced the scars.
He can't really help that, though. That's like It's not like something that you can just like bend and put behind your forefingers.
But I mean,
it's his fucking face.
But
man.
But he could have surgery. He could have him fix it.
He could, but then he's just gonna end up looking like a freaking doll or something.
What if he just puts a clown nose on top?
He's gonna end up looking like Amy Winehouse's left tit.
He could just get like the glasses with the nose on it. And every character somehow that's incorporated into the character.
He's gonna look like Kim Kardashian's stepdad. What's his name? Richard Jenner?
I don't know. Frank Kardashian.
No.
I don't know.
Well, her real dad's dead.
No.
And her stepdad is like an Olympian. Something Jenner. Bruce Jenner. There you go. Thank you, Habib.
Yeah, I know nothing of the Kardashians, nor do I want to know.
Yeah, he's got like plastic surgery and stuff, and like he's starting to look more and more like a woman. It's just weird, but like he doesn't even look like a woman. He looks like a freaking grocery bag.
Luis posted a picture of the thumb in question. His mom's like trying to like clap or something. Wow. So now that I've seen the thumb, and they had what was his name? Aaron Eckhart. That
looks
that
like a penis.
Yeah, looks like. But they had Aaron Eckhart cast to play I Frankenstein, but I think we found a better character for him. I think Vince Vaughn should be him in the sequel. Also, Melanie has volunteered to go see Nymphomaniac with me, so whenever I get the time, we'll do it to it.
It's so ugly.
Well, Hibiki, Luis says he heard your laugh, and probably also you calling out what's his name, Bruce Jenner.
Mark, oh my God, that's gross dumb.
I wonder, maybe it's just the curse of the thumb. Maybe because he hasn't embraced the thumb, they're going to hurt his career, and he's never going to make a good movie after that. Well, he says, "Oh wait, it sounded like Nipple Maniac." Close enough. There's a lot of those in that movie. There's a lot of things in that movie. So Melanie said she'd be down for Nipple Maniac, but not Nymphomaniac. I guess nudity only from the waist up is more acceptable.
Yeah.
It looks like Michael Jackson's nose. I think that would be like the reverse, because Michael Jackson doesn't even have a nose. He's got the Sphinx nose going.
It looks like a walrus penis.
Maybe
it looks like a Shar-Pei with a flat head.
Speaking of walrus penises, when I went to go see the Grand Budapest Hotel at the Alamo Drafthouse, they showed a trailer for some penis documentary where somewhere in Sweden. Because the Swedes are so.
I remember you telling me about
Yeah,
this,
they're so culturally advanced that they have a museum where it's like nothing. It's literally a penis museum. A penis is from different species, and all they want now is a human penis. So so basically they have a guy that they had volunteer where he's like, all right, when I'm dead, you can take it. I mean, I'm not going to use it. I mean, I'm going to use it now, but when I'm dead, I won't need it. And so they were like, all right, so
lots of Discovery Channel.
Luis says, I already know what a walrus penis went like. Obviously, he's been in that museum. It's very important. But yeah, so the whole
Planet Discovery.
The whole documentary is some other guy who's some American, and he's like, wait, if there's going to be a penis in a museum, you damn sure it's going to be American. And so he's volunteered to give his up. He's like, my penis deserves to be in a museum. And this dude's I'm not going to wait till I'm dead. You're going to take it now. So first he goes and he gets a tattoo, which I'm assuming it's going to be the stars and bars on his penis. And he goes to the tattoo artist. It's as he's doing the tattoo, and he's like, you probably don't realize this, but this is probably one of your only tattoos that's going to live on in history. And the dude just gives him this whatever, dude. Look, and just goes back to tattooing.
I'm tattooing a penis right now. It doesn't get any more degrading than that.
Well, I think even more so, just how arrogant the guy is. It's dude, you do realize you're going to be castrated in order for this to happen. As proud as you are about your penis, you're about to lose it forever. You know. I mean, obviously,
and you're sure it's not a mockumentary.
I'm not sure, but
okay.
I haven't seen it. I'm sure at the end he's probably going to chicken out and be like, you know what? I need this for all sorts of things.
I'd rather have AIDS than cut it off.
So I don't know, but it's so weird and random. It was granted it was the Alamo Drafthouse, but it's still the last preview I expected to see. Where I'm just okay.
This is weird.
But anyway,
you didn't see it with your family, did you?
Yep.
Oh, my condolences, bro. Oh my god!
Yeah, because we went to see the Grand Budapest
Was everyone
Hotel.
just like clenching their buttholes, like just like really nervous? Because I'm sure that like my dad gets like that whenever a commercial for Law and Order Special Victims Unit comes on, and I want to go get some coffee. Anybody want coffee for the next 30 minute?
It wasn't
like,
as
no, just sit down.
just avert your eyes.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad. Simply because it was because it wasn't like raunchy. It would be different if it was like the trailer for Nymphomaniacs. Like that would have been like really uncomfortable for my parents. But like the documentary was just more like weird and comedic, whereas more like everyone, like regardless of like what your sensibilities are, you're just like, what the hell? Like,
so they said
what is
you're
this?
saying they packaged it so that it was easy to swallow.
Yes, it goes down smooth. It does not tickle the back of your throat. But anyway, so yeah, so I think Vince Vaughn should donate his thumb to that museum. Was the main point of bringing this up. So Blood Ocean 07 posted a link to the
final member. I like what they did there.
Yeah, to the poster
censorship
for the penis documentary. So. Yeah, so if you guys want a good movie to go see that is probably going to be weird and also probably very interesting, check out The Final Member. I guarantee you, without even seeing it, I guarantee you will enjoy this movie 1,000 times more than if you watch The Watch. Like that's my official Prometheus guarantee.
Yes,
sealed by the king, the late king himself.
Dude,
so
you just spoiled it.
No, I didn't. Only if you know the reference.
Oh.
But anyway, so yeah. I mean, yeah, he could be the Burger King. He's gone. Could be the King of Queens. That guy's career is garbage.
Kevin James.
Bobby says, was that a Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Where have you been?
He just finished his call. He had to help somebody reboot their EA account.
Nice.
The Watch. Yeah, The Watch, Bobby, since he just rejoined us, is with Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, some British dude that looks like Jermaine from
Black Jermaine.
Yeah, Black Jermaine, and what was the other guy? Wait, who did I? Oh, Jonah Hill. Oh, wait, Academy Award winning Jonah Hill.
Ben Stiller.
Oh, and yeah. Hello, Ben Stiller. I used to like Ben Stiller so much. He's like disappointed me. It's just like, come on. Like to me, like with that 1-2 hit combo of Zoolander and Dodgeball, I'm like, dude, I'm a Ben Stiller fan.
And then Tropic Thunder.
Oh, and Tropic Thunder. Well, I keep forgetting that one. I haven't watched that one as much. But yeah, okay, that 1-2-3 punch combo with the knockout blow. And then after that, it's like his whole career just got lame. So disappointing. So disappointing. But yes, I am correct, Mr. Beetle. So pretty much all the topics we have for today. I do thank everybody for joining us. I think we're going to probably start doing this more where we do have just like surprise topics. That's a surprise even to me, even though on the one.
Well, it'll be depending a lot on Hibiki. So.
Well, we're just going to put the pressure on. So all you in the chat, put the pressure on Hibiki. Let her know that we want random topics that are crazy and outrageous. And
weird laughing from the comfort of the couch.
Yeah, right. yeah. Straight Outta Austin is now recorded and broadcasted in front of a live studio audience,
where we actually have space.
Yeah. Hey.
And room.
Hey. Just because I live in a cave,
and I can sit up straight so my voice doesn't get nasally,
so you can also stay awake.
Surprisingly, I was almost falling asleep at the beginning. I don't know how I did it without coffee, but I'm probably going to need coffee next time.
Melanie says she should be part of the outro. She was last episode, but somebody didn't set up a microphone for her.
Oh, didn't? I guess I didn't. I don't think she would have sat here anyways. Would you have?
I would have. Yeah, she said she would have.
I think she just said yes.
If there was space, if somebody would have invited her. Anyway, Louis said he used to like Ben Stiller. Then he took an arrow to the funny knee. With that, well, actually, before we sign off. So anyway, be sure to, if you guys have listened to a little bit or you missed part of it, be sure to check out the podcast version on Wednesday on punchingthewallsreality.com. Be sure to check out the Comic Bubble on Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and also the podcast is posted on Mondays. So episode 4 is posted right now. Every Thursday, you can check out my Game of Thrones podcast, The King Is Not Tired, which, to be honest, I don't think it's really all that good, but you should listen to it anyway. because I spent a whole 20 minutes recording it. And Louis said the people want to be geek. Also, check us out on Twitter at PTWOR and show us your tweets. And Agamemnon will eventually be recording. And also, Beetle, Pressure, we're recording another Save File Corrupted. Pressure.
We're going to do it yesterday, but I forgot to
get the equipment. Well, now he's got everything he needs. Oh yeah, so episode 5 will be debuting on of the Comic Bubble on Friday. So anyway, that is all. Unless anyone in the chat. Also, check out Blood Ocean 07's YouTube page. Try and get him up to 4,000 likes.
Yes.
So I think right now we have like 4 likes, so we're gaining on him. So pretty soon you're gonna have some competition on the YouTube page, buddies. You watch your back. Yeah, I think like the last thing we posted has got like 2 views. But oh yeah. But yeah, of course, as always. Oh wait. Okay. So episode 5 has been posted today on the website. So I'm an entire week behind, and episode 6 will be on Friday of the Comic Bubble. And anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Blood Ocean 07. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Bobby. And of course, thanks, Melanie, for tuning in after getting groceries and finding time between sorting through the produce and the grains to listen to this podcast. So hopefully we'll be just as delicious as whatever you decide to make. So, anyway, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And this has been Straight
Outta
Austin.
We'll be leaving you guys with a little parody song from a cosplayer named D. Pity that he created with the help of a bunch of other cosplayers, parodied off Pharrell's song Happy called Cosplay. So here you go, guys.
Bobby chimed in for the Austin. And thanks, Blood Ocean 07. Appreciate that.